In this video, we'll look at how we can use the 68, 95, 99.7 rule, also known as the empirical rule. Male adult heights in North America are normally distributed with a mean of 70 inches and a standard deviation of 4 inches. Find the percent of men's heights, that is A, between 62 inches and 68 inches. When dealing with the empirical rule, I find it's best to draw a picture. So here we have our bell curve, and we know that the middle is the mean, which we are told is 70 inches. And we're looking for 62 and 78. Recognize that the standard deviation is 4 inches. So if we start at 70 and move to the right, we get 74 and then 78. We're 2 standard deviations to the right of the mean. And we're also looking for 62, so we need to start at 70 and go to the left. Remember, the standard deviation is 4 inches, so if we go to the left once, we get 66. Go to the left a second time, we get 62. So we're now between 62 and 78. We want to know what percent of men fall within that region. Notice that you are 2 standard deviations to the left and the right of the mean. The empirical rule says that 95% of all men fall within 2 standard deviations of the mean. In example B, we're looking at the percent of men that are between 70 inches and 78 inches. Again, let's draw a quick sketch. We'll start with the mean, 70 inches. Keep in mind, the standard deviation is 4 inches. So if we're trying to find 78, we'll move to the right once at 74, and again, we'll hit 78. So we're looking between 70 and 78. Earlier, we found that 95% of all men fall within 2 standard deviations from the mean, looking at 2 to the left and 2 to the right. But this time we're only looking at the 2 standard deviations to the right of the mean. So we're cutting the previous data in half. We have 95% fall within 2. So if we included this side, you would have 95%, but we're cutting that in half because we're only looking at the right side. So we get 47.5% of men have heights between 70 and 78 inches. This time we want to find the percent of men that have heights over 78 inches. Again, we'll start with a sketch. We know that the middle is 70, and keep in mind the standard deviation is 4. So here we have 74 and then 78. We're looking for this tail where men are above 78 inches. Remember that the entire graph represents 100%. So we can break this up into different sections to find this tail. We know that the left half has to be 50% of the data. So looking in this region alone, we have 50%. And we know that this is 2 standard deviations away from the mean. We found earlier that that is 47.5%. So if we subtract those 2 from 100, we can find this tail. 100 minus 50 minus 47.5. Here we get 2.5%. So 2.5% of men have heights that are above 78 inches. And in our last example, we're looking for below 74 inches. Again, we'll start with the mean at 70. And we want to go up to a standard deviation. Remember, 1 standard deviation is 4 inches. And we want to be below 74. Again, we can break this up into different parts. We know that this half is 50%. So now we have to ask, what is this section? Recognize that that is one standard deviation away from the mean, but only on one side. One standard deviation, according to the empirical rule, is 68 when we're looking at to the left and the right of the mean. We want to cut this in half so that we're only looking for this strip here. So cut that in half, we'll get 34%. So adding up that total area, 50 and 34, we get 84% of men have heights that are below 74 inches.